What's up, everybody? We're back again here with the miracle man himself, Jesse. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm feeling ready for the pod. I'm feeling ready for the playoffs in basketball. What can I say?
Not in
Right.
Dynasty.
Ryan and I riding high off a big Sixers play-in
Oh my
W.
God.
Excited for this Sixers Knicks series.
The chicken game will go down in infamy. Nico Batum already has a statue being made. I'm hyped. It's a good end to the week. I didn't work Tuesday and Wednesday because I was like sort of sick, but not too bad. So I'm ready to rumble. This is still the best part of my week every week.
Let's
Absolutely.
go.
We got a week away from the NFL draft. I think I said the same thing last week's episode
You
with
did.
Brennan. So that was a little misinformation for y'all. Um, I thought it was this weekend until yesterday, so that was a bummer. But just let the anticipation and excitement build a little more.
Actually,
With building.
all right. Well, the manager is in the mirror, and it's time to start talking about him. So 2022 for Jesse Meer. He went 8-7, got in as the 4 seed, and was a first round exit, losing to Dan by 36 points. Though worth noting, he was the second highest scorer that week in the playoffs. Um, in the draft, he didn't have much going on. He got Will Levis in the fourth and Parker Washington in the sixth. But then the season got rolling. He was looking okay, considered breaking it down, but instead then shoved, getting Kelsey, Adam Thielen, Hollywood Brown, and Justin Shorter for Dontavian Wicks. He sent Dontavian Wicks and his own first and second next year. And then earlier in the season, no, I don't know the order of these. He also traded for Isaiah Likely and Nico's 24 fifth, sending his own second in 25. Oh no, I am botching this. He got Isaiah Likely, Nico's 24 fifth, and 25 second for his own 26 second. All in all, he finished 10-5, got in as 3 seed, and as you may remember, took home the hardware.
Yes, I did.
Big year.
Yes, I did. And some of those acquisitions may not age well, but got the ring, and that's all that matters.
That's all that matters,
It
baby.
is.
And I'm
Got a
feeling good.
not
I'm
the
riding
ring, you
high.
got the chain. It's got your name on
Oh
it.
yeah, that's true.
Oh, also, in keeping with what I've done for like half of these, this is my Jesse shirt. It's my fraternity's Top Gun themed shirt
Oh yeah, that's
because
sick.
I can't even imagine the G-force going on in Team Meer's locker room, going from just the bend going straight down and then maybe straight up. Takes a talented pilot, that's for sure.
It does. It
Oh,
does. And we're all just along for the ride.
yeah, the Raiders. Our league has a first to worst tradition to uphold.
That is true.
It's true. Pageantry.
Yes. All right. Well, diving into it. Yeah, seriously, congrats on the ring. I know we've had you on since, but the champ is here. He's in the building.
I don't think we did. I think we had him on before.
Yeah, just before when Ryan
Oh,
said "Year of the Mirror," and I thought he was trying to jinx me, and
Wow.
it came true.
all right. Then the first official on the pod.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Obviously, two former champs ourselves and the hosts here. We got elite company on the pod today.
Hmm.
Uh, I'm sure Ryan remembers where he was when he would run his ring. I know I remember winning mine. Uh, where were you when you won your ring? And tell us, how was it? Tell us about it.
It was actually it's kind of a funny story. So it was New Year's Eve that it was decided. And I was in Jacksonville at my girlfriend's house at this dinner party that was like super legit, like pretty important. But like I had to be locked in to engage with the family and such. And so I did not watch the final game where Brennan, I forget which player it was, but it like came down to it ended up being like a 3-point
Tyreek Hill, I
difference or
think.
something. Yeah, maybe.
He said it on the last episode. I think it was Tyreek Hill. I don't remember. Whatever.
Yeah, and when I found out that I won, I went into the kitchen. Everyone was sitting around like the dining room table. I went into the kitchen and I dropped to my knees in joy. I have a photo that I don't know if I have it right now. But it's a good one. It was just me like reveling in the moment. So um I could not believe it because this year was actually just like an insane year for fantasy for me. I won 3 out of the 4 leagues I was in. And then the one league that I didn't win was a dynasty league where um, I lost in the semis by 3, but I would have won in the finals had I made it. So it was a really good year overall. Making up for lost time where I was fucking horrible forever. So
Safe to call that the year of the mirror.
Yep.
it
All
only
right.
strikes once every like 8 years. But
Well, we talked about the hard pivot your team's facing now. The move from CMC definitely looks like it's gonna be a bit of a rebuild for a little bit. Was that always the plan after this season? You thought about it mid-season, or did winning the ring, you felt like you kind of got what you wanted to out of it, and now you're gonna try to repivot for the future?
you know, there was some thinking in my camp about what to do next, right? Do I do what nobody has done and go for 2? Um, but really, my guys, we stuck to our 15-step framework, which I outlined
Yep.
last podcast. I cannot reveal the details of this framework, but I do have one piece of the framework that I am currently using that I can actually share with you guys if you'd like some inside baseball on my team. I'm going to go ahead and use the share screen functionality. Oh, it's disabled. Never mind.
Dan.
I will just tell you what I've been doing then.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
No, that's okay.
He rules the show with an iron fist.
This was a text that I sent out to Zach. And my one of my 3 S's in my 15-step framework is seduction.
Mm.
Seduction. Yep. So what I did is I texted Zach, and I know it's going to be reversed, but I texted him, I want you. And then I waited a bit, and then I said, to trade me my pick back. So I feel like that's going to get the juices flowing, the seductive techniques. I also texted Robert recently, I need it. And then I said, to be an environment where we make a trade. After I sent I need it, it stopped showing, like it showed delivered. And then I think he blocked my number or something because the second text did not go through. So I think he's considering, I think that's probably like he's shutting down and thinking about it.
Sure.
Which is just along the steps of the framework that we were hoping. So I'm feeling good. And, whether this is a full pivot or a half pivot, time will tell. But I feel really good about my guys.
That's good.
Yeah. Hopefully Rob will see this episode and he can give you what you need.
Don't bet on it.
So we've been asking everyone about Superflex. I was looking to try and trade up to Rob's 8th pick. So I was talking with him at the time. Tom was on the show for the Superflex episode. He talked about it too. Basically, it's been outed that you were kind of toying with Rob there, threatening to take Kyler. Was Lawrence always your guy in the first? Were you thinking about moving up for Burrow? Were you hoping someone else fell? What was actually going on?
Yeah, I was never going to move up for Burrow. I'm, I guess, one of the few people that like I think I believe in the talent like insanely. He's so good, but for me, it just didn't make sense to move up. Like taking into the fact that he would require higher compensation. There are questions I mean, I know it's always like worth it the way we structured it to pay more comp, but like just the injury concerns. I don't know if that's where I want to plant my flag. So Lawrence was always going to be the guy, at least one of the picks. Um, One, like I watched more Jags games last year than like probably the second most out of any team. And I feel good about Lawrence's talent. Like I really do. I know he had kind of a tumultuous year. Um, but I'm excited. I'm excited for him. I think he just needs some more talent in that receiver room. And I know it's not happening yet, but I think it'll develop into something positive. Fields. Oh, well, yeah, and I did extort Rob. Yeah, I was never gonna take Kyler.
Gotcha.
And I just used that as leverage. I'm sorry, Rob, if you're listening.
No wonder he blocked you.
Yeah, that's true. That's probably what it was. I'm sure. Fields is the home run swing. And right now I'm down to 2 strikes on him, sadly. Um, but I think that like the juxtaposition of having like a really solid guy in Lawrence and then like a home run swing guy that could in theory be a top 5 super flex quarterback if everything breaks right. Like I think it was worth it for my trajectory.
My
For
next
your
question
team,
was
it makes
what?
sense.
Yeah, I agree. My next question was how is the Justin Fields movement since the draft had you feeling?
That was fucked. Like I was just not expecting
Yeah.
that would like the market was so soft. Like you would have thought that it was like the fucking market for Davis Webb. It was insane.
Yeah, it was wild.
Um, but
Kenny Pickett went for more.
no, that yeah, is crazy. And I have Pickett also,
Yeah.
which is I don't I don't know how I feel about
QB2,
that.
Kenny Pickett.
Yeah. I think that he'll break out from the Eagles and create a QB controversy. Just a thought.
Almost definitely. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. I think Fields is definitely going to be their guy. Like not this year, but I think that like, well, actually, they don't have a lot of draft capital. I don't know what's going on. Let's just hope that it breaks right for him. I believe in the talent. I think he'll get a fair shake somewhere, if not Pittsburgh.
I do love me some Fields.
You were a proponent of like come and take him, and I think Fields was on
But yeah,
the
I
graphic.
love Fields. I traded for him before the year because I believed in him, and I still do. I
You
was
do?
so mad
Okay.
he didn't get like an automatic starting job in like Atlanta or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted
Dan,
that so bad for him.
Dan, you said you kind of believe in Fields too, right?
I'm
Like,
I'm a Fields guy myself. I traded up for the pick right behind yours before you took Fields. And it was Dak or Fields for me. So
mm,
thank God you took Fields instead of Dak, because I would be feeling so much worse about my team right now.
oh yeah. I probably could have flipped Dak to you. Like honestly.
I mean,
Whatever.
I feel like we were pretty close to a deal. The same deal I gave Rob, I offered you. You were interested, but declined.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Rob just wanted that back of the second round real bad.
Yeah.
Um, and then I was just wondering, obviously a huge part of Superflex or of a rebuild in Dynasty is draft capital, compensation, all that stuff. Um, obviously there's not a ton of it in your warehouse right now. I was wondering if in the next week there's going to be any kind of push, if it's just kind of going to be a sit this draft out for the most part and then really rebuild, like push it all to next year draft compensation wise. What are we thinking?
Yeah. I think I'm gonna be aggressive. Um, my like kind of concern is that I think some of the guys on my roster won't become valuable until midway through the season when people are trying to make a push. Like someone like Kelsey or Andrews, like I doubt that people are gonna like pay what I expect to be what like I value them and what all the trade charts value them as. like it's just not worth it until you see that you're like in the mix and you have a deficiency. So
Sure.
I don't know. I have to balance like this draft is really awesome, but also making sure that I get the right value to trade my guys.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So you talked a little bit about it. Then you just said you have your eyes on being aggressive, but obviously with the capital, it might be hard. Do you have a blueprint for the rebuild? I know you said it might be long term, might be short term. What's going to kind of dictate how you pace it moving forward,
Right.
kind of time frame?
Uh, I would say that my strategy is zero RB. I went my first ring very much heavy RB. I mean, my cornerstone was Saquon and CMC, and that's what my championship was built off of. I think to build a sustainable like dynasty, like to really win a couple, you can't rely on running backs being the cornerstone. That's just my like philosophy. And so I think I'm gonna try and build a team that is unstoppable as long as it takes. Build a team that's unstoppable that only just needs a couple of veteran running backs that can just slot in for relatively inexpensively. So that's kind of my long-term strategy. But who knows how long it's going to take? I mean, I'm willing to press the reset button as much as it takes until I get to the point where I feel fucking amazing about my team.
I
Fair
think
enough.
all right. So obviously it's not winning. What does success look like to you in 2024, 2025?
Yeah, good question. I wore this jersey. It's a Knicks jersey, but it's also a Marcus Camby jersey. Um, and Marcus Camby was a one-time Defensive Player of the Year winner. It wasn't on the Knicks. He had a quote that inspired me, which is totally unique. Like I don't think I've ever heard another athlete say this, but he said, "This team's got a lot of heart." And that was the quote that I could find when I looked up Marcus Camby for this. And that's what I want from my guys. Just a lot of heart and frankly some good defense because I don't think the offense is going to be producing very much. So I think we're going to need some strong defense to carry us through these years. So that's the hope.
Solid answer. I respect it. I like it. All right, and then last but not least, and you've been a common favorite now for one of these questions. Who do you got winning the league this year, and who do you have losing the league this year?
What do people usually start off with? Do they start off with
I feel like winner.
Winner? Okay. I think Brennan's going to win it. I think that his team is insane. Um, he has ridiculous depth, just up and down, pretty awesome. I think he is missing a tight end though. Dallas Goedert's good, but he's not Travis Kelce, for instance. Or, he's not Mark Andrews or Isaiah Likely or Jelani Woods even.
Oh, that would be a
And
huge
Who is?
upgrade.
if I were Brennan as a champion myself, I would recommend him going big because you never know how long this window will last. And he has the capital still, kind of, to make things happen, whether it be with a 3-team deal or whatever. So,
Would
I
you
think
take the slut back for Mark Andrews?
yeah, yeah, maybe. Um, Also, I think Brennan got a good deal. Like, I think Curtis Samuel, I know this is like a very small piece, but I think he's going to be like a fucking beast for the Bills this year. I genuinely believe that he could be like a really big sleeper, and he's got CMC. I just think he's got an awesome team. So,
I could see it.
Brandon is definitely as another contender, the team I'm most scared of the more I've looked at it, especially after free agency now. Like that running back room almost across the board all got bumps, and you almost never see that out of veteran running
yeah.
back.
It was crazy.
So he's definitely got something scary.
I'm really curious how Mixon like I feel like that offense is going to be so fucking insane that like it would be easy for someone like Mixon to score a shit ton, but I don't know if they're just going to focus on passing. I have no idea.
He can catch the ball though.
Yeah.
I'm huge on
I
Mixon.
don't think they will any more than the Bengals did.
Mm.
I mean, obviously Jake Browning came in for a minute, but Mixon's been that dude there for a year and a half before that. He was a like top 8 guy.
Mm.
Uh,
All right. For those who watched last episode,
Oh wait,
Jesse.
my
whoa,
loser.
Oh,
wait.
Loser.
oh, good call.
This is going to be an unpopular one. I think that Pat is going to be the worst team. I know this is shocking, but I I've been thinking about it. I don't think that his team is good enough to win. And if I were him, I would get halfway through the season. I think he's going to have a middle of the road record or so. And then I would realize that you don't have enough and you just trade what you can and continue the rebuild.
Hmm.
I think things haven't panned out for him in the same way that they have for Nico. Um, I just think it would like be a smart thing for him to not to push the reset button again, personally.
Interesting. A good
I
answer.
think we should take that quote out and put it under the link to the podcast when you send it out, but to take his name out so we get some viewership.
You could add that as the description, like something like shocker. I don't know how to clickbait, but
All right. So for those of you who watched last episode because you didn't need clickbait, we played a little game where we spin a wheel, all 10 of our names. We have manager, quarterback, running back, wide receivers, tight ends, draft capital, and pass. So any name we spin, we have to put in one of those categories, trying to build the best dynasty team possible. Um, let's get to it. I got a wheel right here. Jesse, you haven't watched last episode, but I have always been a huge proponent for saving the pass, which I believe we will do right here as we have spun Dan Marks.
mm.
Dan, what do you think you should be?
I mean, I feel like it's a no-brainer. Who's the best manager in the league? Who's the handsomest
Oh,
manager in the league? It's Dan, right? Like it's too easy.
I,
Oh,
I would disagree. I find you difficult to deal with, and your bias as commissioner and a player has often ruined many a league function. Um, I think it's obvious myself, and I think we go receivers here. But
Yeah.
I mean, the depth could be better. There's no denying,
the
but
depth is bad right now.
it it doesn't really matter.
No,
I feel like Parker Washington could like really fill out.
he
I don't know.
could help. We'll see how 8 looks. Maybe if my guy doesn't fall, we can swing 8 for Parker.
That would be quite the jump.
Um, but yeah, I mean, obviously it's the receivers.
Yeah,
We
agreed.
all agree. We're
Yeah.
doing this together, by the way. All 3 of us vote. Okay.
So it's QBs, RBs, tight ends, wide receivers, and depth and manager.
No depth
It's
and pick.
draft capital,
Oh, draft.
and there's a pass. I don't know if you said that. Another
No.
interesting one. We have Nico Ellis.
Ooh.
So we took Nico, I believe, for running backs last time.
We did not take him for running backs. We took him for draft capital.
Oh, all right. Well, that also has a shout.
I mean, he's got 1-1, 1-2, and 1-3. It's kind of the Dan's receiver rooms of draft capital.
Yeah, I'm giving it to Nico.
I would go running back though.
Oh,
He has nothing higher than Pat's third next year.
If we take Nico's running back room, which similar to my receiver room, very top heavy. We're looking at quite debatably the top 2 dynasty running backs and the top 3 dynasty receivers on this team we've got. Fuck draft capital.
who does he have any RB depth? It's just the 2 good ones, right?
I mean,
That's
yeah.
it. After that,
Gus
it's
Edwards could be
McLaughlin,
okay this year, but
Gus Edwards, Isaiah Spiller, Zach
I
Evans.
I think you got to go draft capital on this one. That's just my view. Like the
I
top
like
3
running
picks.
back depth as well. I don't know.
Ryan, you're the tiebreaker. I'm all in on those running backs.
I'm going draft capital again. I mean, with your very top heavy receivers, kind of want to draft another one just to pair with them. All right. Spinning again. We have manager, quarterback, running back, tight end, and pass left. We spin Zach Fedor. Now we passed on Zach last time.
No passing or not passing.
Taking a quick meander over. Quarterback wise, he has Lamar, Bryce Young, Sam Howell. Running back wise, he has Jacobs, James Cook, Zamir White. A trio I don't hate by any means. Tight ends, we're looking at, he has Tanner Hudson in right now. And that is,
I texted him though. He'll have someone different too.
gotcha.
Yeah.
That is
Only
his
tight
only
end on his
roster.
roster, Tanner Hudson.
That feels like a no-brainer.
If we're looking at Zach's team, I think it's QB or running back, and I'm not sold on Bryce. So like I think I would take Josh Jacobs and James Cook. I like James Cook. I think he's gonna get a lot of work this year with the Bills' skill position problem. And I think Josh Jacobs in Green Bay is another vet that had a great free agent landing spot.
I like Zamir too.
What about
Yeah.
Rico Dowdle? Power vacuum.
And Rico Dowdle. Is he currently the one in Dallas?
For now,
Deuce
For now.
Vaughn.
Okay. So yes.
who's also on Zach's roster. So he's got the whole Dallas backfield locked
Oh
up.
my God, he owns
I think you got to go running back.
All right,
Taking that
we'll
running
give
back.
him running back. Not a bad room. Let's see. So we have manager, quarterback, tight end, and pass.
Let's get us some Jesse. Let's get these tight ends rolling.
Oh, we got Luke instead. So I hope Luke was stacked at tight end. I took Ingram, but we took him for tight ends last time, actually. He has McBride, Michael Mayer. He has, who's the third one? Jake Ferguson. That feels like a pick right there.
And he has Tucker Kraft, who I like a lot.
Yeah.
Conversely, just throwing things out there, his QB room, Hurts, Watson, and Wilson isn't terrible. And there aren't really many stacked QB rooms that we can get.
Yeah. That's a good point.
There's mine, which I would put above that. There is. Who did we take last time?
Brennan.
Brennan's got a good QB room. Rob's got a good QB room. I think we took Rob's last time.
I think we took Rob's too.
Which
No,
I would
we
be
took
happy.
Tom. We took Tom, who is also still left. I think I'm gonna vote tight ends on this one.
Yeah, I think T McBee's great with two young backups. I think that's a solid plug-in at tight end.
Yeah.
All right. So we just need quarterback, someone to run the team, and we're passing on somebody. We have Robert Cacciabato. I think we put him at manager last time.
That's right. We did put Rob at manager.
But now that I know that he's blocking members of the league for hitting on him, I don't know if I can do that again.
It's disgusting behavior.
Well, if we're not putting him at manager, we may have to pass unless we want Kyler, Baker, and Aaron Rodgers.
I don't. I can tell
Me
you
neither.
that. Do we want to pass on Rob? There's plenty of good teams out there.
Let's
Let's
pass.
pass.
Let's pass on Rob. We saved it long enough.
So we just have quarterback and manager, right?
Quarterback and manager. And we're gonna be picking Brennan Rouse. Now, I've personally in the past kind of shaded Brennan Rouse for being such an inactive manager. He did make this McCaffrey move. I don't know if this is a new leaf, but I personally think I would take Mahomes and Purdy out of everyone's quarterbacks left.
I think Brennan's a solid manager. I wouldn't mind him at that spot, but I mean, I think Mahomes and Purdy's rock solid.
I go quarterback.
it's really hit or miss if with the last four. Me and Tom, I think, have really good quarterbacks. And then I'm blanking on Pat's quarterbacks.
That has Richardson and somebody.
Oh yeah, I don't really like those. And Jesse, to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of yours either.
That's
So
okay. I forgive you.
I think we take quarterback while we can. Did we agree on that?
Yep.
Yeah.
And
All
so
right.
our manager is
Our team will be managed entirely by
could be our manager in the mirror today.
Jesse Meer.
No
It
way.
was about a centimeter from me, but a team can only get so lucky. All right, so running through our roster here, Jesse will be managing the team of um, Patrick Mahomes and Brock Purdy, Josh Jacobs, Dalvin Cook, Zamir White,
James Cook too.
Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, and whoever your Mike Williams or
D-Hop and Mike Williams.
D-Hop and Mike Williams. Then we got McBreezy, Jake Ferguson, and Michael Mayer. Draft capital, we have the top 3 picks this year among other top 15, 20 picks. And we passed on Rob. Had to be done. I think that's a pretty stacked team right
Yeah,
there.
you guys might as well not play that year if that ever happened. I'm taking it home.
I
Oh,
believe you
we can
would.
talk about a Jetta's CD Jamar package.
And it kind of fits the Meer mentality where he definitely is more focused on the other positions as opposed to running back, but they're serviceable
Your
for at
RB
least
build.
this year.
Yeah.
At least this year, that room will be good. All right.
Yeah, thank you for coming on, Jesse. Been another great episode. Good luck on Saturday. We get Knicks Sixers game 1 in New York. I'm excited.
Oh yeah. You shouldn't be, but it'll be good. It'll be a good series. Hope everyone stays healthy so we can just see who's the best.
Agreed. All right. Well, thank y'all again. Wait, League, if you get this far, drop Year of the Mirror in the chat. We didn't get any of no one sent the secret code last week, so someone make my day and hit us with the Year of the Mirror. All
You're
right.
the leader.
This
Peace,
is the
everybody.
week. All right. Thanks for watching.